Hi everyone! Today we're going to look at what I call selective reading and how we can use first sentences to help us get a general or global understanding of the text. When texts are very long, sometimes 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pages, it's very difficult to sit down and read the text from beginning to end. And we know that empirical research articles are structured in such a way that we can really be selective in what we read and how much we read. In this screencast, we're going to look at how we can use first sentences to help us build that global overview of the text. So the first thing we want to do is to remember paragraph structure. Remember that when we have paragraph structure of the inverted triangle, the wide part at the top, it starts with the first sentence, the topic sentence, which usually has the main idea, and then the rest of the sentences are supporting information, so that we get that beginning important idea right at the beginning. And empirical research articles often use this form of paragraph structure. So how do we do it? Well, we need to read all of the first sentence and then the first few words of the second sentence. And we'll see why that second sentence is often very important. Let's take a look at a few examples from the text you read last lesson about motor vehicles and cannabis. If we look at paragraph 1, it begins, motor vehicle collisions remain a major source of morbidity and mortality and a main public health concern. Well, it's obviously a main idea. And if we go on, in 1997, MVCs were, and here we see they're giving us the example. Even though it doesn't say, for example, it's supporting information for the idea of motor vehicle collisions being fatal and having many injuries. Let's look at another one. And then paragraph 2. Let's look at it. We know a considerable amount about the role of alcohol in MVCs. Okay, that's an idea. However, and this is very important, because what do we know about the transition word or connector? However, that it's going to give us something that's in contrast. So we know a lot about alcohol, there must be something we don't know a lot about. So here we can see we know less about the effects of drug use on driving ability and traffic safety. So what do we think this paragraph is going to be about? This paragraph is going to be about the effects of drug use on driving ability. Let's go on to paragraph 3. After alcohol, the psychoactive substance most widely researched with respect to driving is cannabis. Okay, we know that there are different kinds of drugs, and one is cannabis. We go on to the next sentence, a survey of Canadians. So we can also see a survey is research. So now they're going to give examples of the kind of research on driving and the use of cannabis. Let's take a look at paragraph 4. 2 questions are of importance to the issue of cannabis, driving, and MVCs. 2 questions. So they're going to ask 2 questions, and if we're going to have 2 questions, obviously at one point they're going to be answered. So we know what's coming next. Is there, that's a question. Is there an increased risk of MVC among people who drive under the influence of cannabis, and does cannabis impair driving performance? So we know here this sentence gives us 2 things. It gives us information about the topic, but it also gives us information about the organization of information in the paragraph. So how can we use these first sentences to help? So first of all, we can see the topic, we can see the connection to the paragraphs before and after. We see the purpose of the paragraph, and we see the organization of information in the paragraph. So what do you need to do? Well, first of all, thinking. That's always good. And what we need to do is we need to stop and make predictions. Okay, if they're talking about research and then they have mentioned survey, then obviously they're probably going to tell us about the survey. We need to mark key phrases. The text is so long, so we want to mark what's important. So that if we look and we say, okay, what was important? The survey, drug use, however, those kinds of things we want to mark. We don't want to mark the whole sentence. And the other thing we can do is to make some notes in the margins next to the paragraph. And this can be in English, in Hebrew, in Arabic, in Chinese, in Martian, whatever language is easiest for you to see. Because eventually, remember, our goal is to get a global overview of the text, and what we want to be able to do is to go back and find information quickly and effectively. And if we've marked key phrases and we've made notes in the margins, it will make our job much easier. And again, what does it help us do? It helps us find that global overview of the main claims, the main ideas, and where they are in the text, so that when we go back, we'll be able to find them easily. In the activity for this lesson, you're going to be working with first sentences in a new article. So I think with this, you're ready to go. Good luck and have fun.